It's good to be here. Well, most people start at the beginning, but I'm going to start when I was like I think I was about 10 or 11. And, well, it didn't matter. Anyway, at the, at the school I went to, we had a glee club. And there was a song that we used to sing, and I don't remember the name of it, but you got to give me grace because I'm older. But anyway, it went, I looked for him in the heart of a friend, and he was there. I looked for him when no heartache could mend, but he was there. It's so simple yet so wonderful. Everybody, everywhere, just look for him, and he'll be there. And that song, every time we sang it, we had to keep singing it over and over again because we were off key and still am. But anyway, it talked to me. And I knew that it was special. It was like my special song. I was not a believer, but I was very God conscious. Well, anyway, we'll go back to when I was 3 years old. I lived in Rockford, Illinois, and I used to lay out on the grass, look up at the sky and see Jesus dancing in the clouds, see angels. I saw a lot of stuff for a little kid, and when I would tell my mom that, it would freak her out. But when I was 6, I busted the back of my head open, and on the bedboard, and blood went flying everywhere, and don't say that's why she's like she is today. But, well, if you weren't going to say it, David was. Anyway, they took me, and by the time I got to the hospital, I was covered in blood. But I remember my mom praying for me in the ambulance. Well, she was a good mom, right? So anyway, so I started, as a little kid, I started realizing, and I know this might sound odd, but that God was for me. I really did know that, even though I didn't know him personally. So we'll fast forward up to when I was about 12 or 13, and I got double pneumonia, and I was very sick. And my mom was trying to get me into the hospital, and I was in my bedroom, and I remember coughing, and I remember praying and asked Jesus, just help me breathe. And he came into the room. Now, I didn't see his face, but I saw his outline. And I was so excited, so I went running to tell my mom. And she put her hand on my forehead and said, hey, you're hallucinating, you got a fever, go back to bed. But the very next day when I went to the doctor, I was so much better, and I was diagnosed before that with double pneumonia, and I only had pneumonia in one lung. So I believe I got a touch. And I'm saying all this not to say that I'm special, but that God is. He is special, and he's always there. He's always looking and seeking and wanting to find someone that will love him like he loves us. So the older I got, the more I became steeped in sin. Not that I sinned. I didn't do drugs. I was an occasional drinker. I smoked. But if in the world standard, that was no big deal, some people said. But see, it's the lie, because you get this false security, and you think you're okay when you're not. I still prayed. I was a good Lutheran that cussed and smoked. And so anyway, so moving on. The thing that I love about the Lord the most is that even though we are sometimes need a house to fall upon us, I do, that I finally got it, that he loved me, and that he wanted me. And see, I had been betrayed by men, by my dad, by my family, by coworkers, and so it was very hard for me to trust, and I had this big wall up. But then finally, the Lord took his big hammer and knocked it down, and he let me see that I was acceptable to him and that he died for me. And that it broke my heart. And how can you be so stubborn and self-willed when he's doing that for you? I just couldn't. I couldn't. I finally said yes. I finally said, okay, I will try. Now, I've made lots of boo-boos. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've done things that I wish I wouldn't have. I've always tried to be a good example, but I know I wasn't. But I tried, but I wanted him to love me, and I had to quit trying to be good enough, you know? I had to quit doing that. So I finally got the revelation that it's him that works through us, that changes us from the inside out. And then the struggles quit. I didn't have to struggle as bad. I didn't, I'm not saying I've arrived, but it's so easy. It's easier being in love with Jesus. Don't take this wrong, honey. But than it is being married. Because Jesus is he loves us unconditionally. And I love that about him. So I'm thankful. The rest of my testimony is about where I'm going. I'm thankful that I have a husband that is supportive of me. I'm thankful that I have a church family that I trust. I trust you guys. And I'm thankful that I feel that this is a safe place, a safe place. And even if you guys unintentionally would hurt me or let me down, because I hope I don't ever do that to you, but let's face it, I'm human, I might, but God won't. And so I know that this is where I'm supposed to be. I have that assurance, and that's a good thing. It's good to have assurance that you're doing and being in the right place at the right time. So I'm very thankful for that. I'm thankful for all you people. You're all so different. You're like a big bouquet, and I love y'all. Because I know that sounds funny, but everybody has a unique something, a fragrance that I love inhaling. It's nice. And I'm so excited about the new building. I'm so excited about what God's going to do. And I'm even excited about teaching the kids. And I'm a grandma. I've had kids, multiple kids, and I thought, wow, I don't know if I want to teach kids anymore. But I like teaching the kids that I'm teaching now, the age group, because they're our next generation. So that's awesome. And I hope that I can be a good example. And I know that because I'm asking the Lord to let me be, he will help me. How much time do I have? 2. Now, I could talk that after I get calmed down. So anyway, oh, you're behind me. I forgot there was people behind me. So, right, I'm a grandma, so give me grace. Anyway, so I was going to tell you something. Again, something else, but I forgot what it was. I had notes and I didn't follow any of them hardly. So, but I want you to know that God is good. And that song, The Goodness of God, is something that we can stand on. I want to thank the Lord for healing me, for keeping this body working. I still have my right mind. I still can walk. Although there has been a couple times that we wondered about it. What? So anyway, God is good and life is good with Jesus. Thank you.